Right, we're back as the Morning Crossfire, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We promised you all morning we're talking human trafficking today, and it's that time to do that. Thank you for joining us on the front pages. Well, we end up the front pages by arguing about the video of the PDP protest. Some are saying, no, it's not the real video. No, it was doctored. And I'm trying to zoom on that video to see the banner on the truck that had the accident to read. I couldn't read the print on it to be sure it's really a video from the PDP protest. Well, you can talk to us on social media and let's know what you think, or if you were in that protest in Abuja, let's know how it went. But right now it's time to talk about human trafficking. As usual, we have interesting conversation for the next hour, and you can join us live on Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. That's it on Twitter, Nigeria Info FM. You can search for us right now. And this is a conversation we've had quite a number of times in 2019, in fact, several times on the Morning Crossfire. And we will keep talking about human trafficking every time. Until, I hope there is a time when there comes an end to human trafficking, if there ever would be. It's been it's been here forever, slavery.
Right.
But we keep talking about this issue. July 30th last year, commemorating the World Day Against Human Trafficking in Persons, we had an extensive conversation on that topic. And we had Barrister Oji Olawale, who is the president of Kick Against Human Trafficking and Human Rights Abuses Foundation. Also in September 2019, we also talked about this with Mrs. Morenike Omaiboje, who's the Director of Programs, Women Consortium of Nigeria, and also Dr. Franca Atto, Associate Professor, Department of Sociology, University of Lagos. We are bringing this up again today for the next hour. You're welcome. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I am Sheriff Quadry. Do be rest assured that this conversation concerns you in more ways than you can even imagine, because it's quite rife in our society today, and that's why all our platforms are there for you to engage with us. You can watch us live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is what you can search for. Nigeria Info 99.3. We're live. The streams are there on Facebook and YouTube. You can also join the conversation on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. It's our handle on Twitter. On WhatsApp, the number is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805. We're focusing on human trafficking in Nigeria. You'll be shocked at how many people have been trafficked internally and externally as well. So it promises to be interesting this morning.
Gosh, I mean, that side there tells you we're going to have quite a time. And we have joining us on the show today, Daniel Atokolo, who's a Southwest coordinator, a zonal coordinator of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP. Mr. Atokolo, good to have you on the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. We also have Enitoy Bironke, who's a media liaison officer of the Migrant Project Nigeria, doing fabulous work. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's tell you in case you missed out on the story. I don't know where you've been, but Omolola Ajayi and Gloria Bright are two of the many young ladies whisked away of the false pretense to work as slaves in foreign countries under very, very strenuous conditions. Last year alone, about 4,541 Nigerian girls within the age bracket of 18 and 30 years were trafficked to Lebanon by recruiting agents from Nigeria. So far, about 1,000 of these girls have been rescued by the federal government. This is a report done by the Telegraph newspaper. Remember that we had Barrister Oji Olawale on the show last year. He gave some insights then into how trafficking happens, the types, and how the victims can possibly be identified. Listen to this.
Okay. We have internal trafficked people, and we don't even look at that. And we have international trafficked people.
Okay.
So those internal trafficked people are people that ended up to be your house girl, some domestic slaves.
Okay.
So we don't know where they are coming from. And somebody will say, it's not my brother. I just want to come and work. It's my sister. Some of them, if you investigate properly, you discover that they are not Nigerian. Some of them are kidnapped and now being trafficked.
Wow.
So a lot of things is going on. Then the internationally trafficked people are the people you find them moving from one state, one country to the other. And now we will see that it is no more issue of children and women alone. We now have another dimension, which is in organ harvesting.
Organ harvesting, another very scary one.
Quite
He talks
scary.
about how we can identify these victims.
We see them, a lot of them, children. And you will see being controlled by one person as the mother. But if you look at the age gradient of those children, you'll be able to identify
You know that it's not
this
possible.
is not possible. These are victims. So they are brought in and they are being used for harm. They don't know anything. They are not educated. They are not even put to learn any skill.
Right. Indeed, that was an interesting conversation we had there with barrister O.J. Olawale last year. Well, research shows that the business of human trafficking is a $150 billion global industry, with 2/3 of this figure, that's about $99 billion, generated from commercial sexual exploitation, whereas another $51 billion is amassed through forced economic exploitation, including domestic work. Agriculture is also part of it, and other economic activities. Hence, the average woman trafficked for forced sexual exploitation generates $100,000 annually. Anywhere from 100% to 1,000% return on investment. So these people,
my goodness!
yeah,
when you really like that, like it's a business, it makes my head pop.
they put money in, lured girls outside of the country, and you must pay back.
Don't say return on investment.
You must pay back.
That's what it is. Sadly,
that's really what it is. Sadly, it's a business. That's really that's what it is.
you trade in humans.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's check in with more details. According to the United Nations, the smuggling route from East, North, and West Africa to Europe is set to generate $150 million in annual profits and $35 billion globally. Now, it's also a research done by the Global Slavery Index in 2018, which shows that there are about 40.3 million victims of modern slavery worldwide. 71% of these are women and girls. The other 25% are children. On the other hand, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, in a report done last year, estimate that the number of children involved in slavery constitute about 1/3 of all global victims. Nigeria ranks 32nd out of 167 countries, with the highest number of slaves at 1,386,000. 75 of these young girls trafficked within Nigeria are trafficked across states. 23% are trafficked within states. Only 2% are trafficked outside of the country. So it looks like we're not even looking at the biggest problem.
Right. Which is domestic trafficking. And it's insane. Well, UNESCO reveals that human trafficking is the third most common crime in Nigeria, after drug trafficking and economic fraud. So you see how big this topic is. Mr. Tokolo, let me start with you. The figure that Wemimo just read out right now came from NAPTIP. 75% of young girls trafficked within Nigeria, only 2% trafficked outside the country. Let's begin with you telling us what trafficking is.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Let me just make a slight correction there.
Yes,
but
please.
My official designation is zonal commander. I'm not the
Zonal commander. Okay. Thank you.
Zonal command. And Lagos zonal command is in charge of Lagos, Ogun, and Oyo State.
Thank you for that correction.
The figure we have read out from NAPTIP, of course, is correct. Internally, human trafficking goes on within the country. We even look at it like this. It is both internal and external. Internal, when people are trafficked within the country. How does it happen? From some areas, there are some states in this country that are prone to this a kind of internal trafficking for different purposes. There are some states that young people are trafficked for domestic labor. In some other climes, they are trafficked for begging, for arms, begging, for leading blind people, blind men and women, they are all trafficked people.
Oh, so this picture you painted explains that many of the children we see leading beggars are probably not the family members of those beggars.
Very correct. Probably they are not family members. They are led and they are compelled to lead the blind. They are just the people that lead the blind people.
So in other words, we see them. We see them, but we can't do anything about it. I mean, one would have expected that, NAPTIP, being the agency in charge of this, will try as much as possible to reduce the number of children being trafficked. I mean, these children we see every day. You said it yourself. They're on our streets. They're there.
Look, what we do, if you now say you must arrest every child you see on the street, where are you going to keep it? What we do is sensitization, continuous sensitization, advocacy, to let people know the ills and dangers of human trafficking.
Mr. Tokolo, again, I mean, what you just said implies somehow that we leave these children to continue these miserable lives because there is no place to put them.
No. We don't leave them. I'm only saying that sensitization is the main thing. Advocacy, which is what we keep doing. We make arrests. When we see them, we arrest them. But what I'm saying is not every child you see on the street, you start arresting. We trace them. Some of them, we just gather them and return them to their parents. As we talk in the Lagos Zonal Command, we have people who are about returning to their parents. We have children who are about returning to their parents. You look at it and see the way it is, and you look. We just try to work in the best interest of the children. Most of the time, returning back to their parents is about, if you don't sensitize the parents very well, as you are returning them, they are sending them out again. That is what I'm saying by continuous advocacy, continuous sensitization. Some people have seen their children as the ATM they need in life, which is wrong.
It is.
It's terrible that a father or mother stays at home and they send an infant who cannot even take care of himself out to go and bring food for them. They send them as domestic help. They send them to go and work on farms. Those are the things we're talking about. Those are the internal trafficking we're talking about. Going to the farms, to plantations, we go after them. There are some areas in this country, in spite of the arable land they have in their place, they are not satisfied until they move maybe to the southwest to go and farm on farms.
Right.
And when they come at times, they are exploited. We go after them, and we return them to their place and we prosecute those who are using them. At times, you see, when you're painting picture about maybe $100,000 per annum for these girls taken outside, look, it is on the platform of debt bondage. Debt bondage is what they use. They know that this lady cannot get to Oman herself. They know on her own she cannot raise the money to go to Spain. They know on herself she cannot raise the money to go to Italy. So they come as an angel of help. They say, I will help you, but when you get there, you pay me. Believe me, that is the beginning of the problem of that person.
You can say that again. Like I mentioned during the chit chat, this is quite personal to me. Someone I know personally close to me was almost trafficked. Like you said, they come like angels. Someone he met in a bus is just said, "Oh, you've graduated. What are you doing? Oh, and I have an opportunity you can travel out. I just like you."
That is how it goes.
I said to him, so he just likes you and he wants to do you a favor. He's not done a favor for everyone in his family. He just meets you in a bus and he suddenly just wants to pay your way to wherever. But let me come to our next guest. And you looked a bit shocked when we mentioned the percentage of internal trafficking going on within the country. And that's just 2%. And it looks like we've been talking more about trafficking outside of Nigeria. And that's just 2% of the trafficking cases.
Yes, indeed, I had that slight shocked expression because the realities of, the angle that we come from is really people who voluntarily or through whatever means try to leave the country regularly, and which is where the angle. So it was shocking to discover that with the high percentage of people, it's just still 2% because the numbers are really high. So, but then again, I then realized that obviously, when you look at the percentages of internal trafficking versus external trafficking, it then we realize that you have issues of people who maybe start out being internally trafficked and over a period of time realize that,
let me try
for something else. But like the zonal commander was saying, and when he was talking about the fact, one thing was that I know that I thought about it myself too, that human trafficking in itself, like has been said, is really an act. It's a business. But then what pushes it? What are the factors? Because sometimes you don't find an opportunity if there's a willingness somewhere.
There's a market.
No, beyond even the market. That's the market. That's the business side. But we're talking about humans.
Right.
Now, we're not talking about them being kidnapped. They're being trafficked, meaning that there's the element of coercion. And I remember that he was saying that when you take the children off the streets and you take them back to the parents sometimes,
put them back.
Put them right back.
Maybe just take them to another state.
Right.
So I mean, so you don't find them in the same place again, I guess.
Well, that's so. Yes, I really was.
But looking for greener pastures is not wrong. Everyone try to aspire to a better life, and they assume, life will be better for me when I get there. But what really is a problem with seeking greener pasture? Who is an irregular migrant?
Okay, pretty much. Thank you for that question. Now, the issue is the seeking for greener pastures is not in itself the challenge. The challenge now is that, let's start from the fact that what are the factors that are pushing for the seeking for greener pastures? Lack of economic opportunities in home country,
right?
Lack of an opportunity to really be able to express your own desires for a life that you want. And then there's also the fact that there's greed, actually, and there's ignorance.
Okay.
There's greed, there's ignorance. Now, why would I say these things? I will say greed and ignorance. For some people, they're earning some, at least basic, they might be struggling to put together some means of livelihood, but it's not like they're not earning anything at all. And then they're thinking, okay, I want to go abroad and I want to be able to earn foreign currency and I want to be able to live the life that I see on pictures or that I hear my friends talk about.
Right.
Now, you ask who is an irregular migrant. An irregular migrant is somebody who relocates or leaves his home country to another country, a destination country, but the methodology of living is not regular. That is where irregular comes from. So they're not going to go and get proper travel documents. You're not going to go to an embassy, get your visa, get approval to enter into the country. You are entering. The irregularity is in the mode of entry into destination country, which is where you're saying, and that's where you're talking about the most common form of irregular migration, which we focus on the Migrant Project, is going through Libya and the Mediterranean. Of course, now we're seeing Morocco, Spain, but the destination is Europe, pretty much.
So can we say that these class of people are being trafficked as well? Is that a word we can bring in here? Because we know that these irregular migrants usually don't go on their own. They usually link up with a trafficker or somebody. Let's not use, because I'm still trying to figure out whether we can say that they're being trafficked as well, because they're going in their own volition. Nobody's forcing them. They have decided to want to leave the country. And they put money together to approach this other person to say, do you have link? Do you have channel? Do you have routes? Can you take me through these routes? Can we say that they're being trafficked as well?
Well, yes, most definitely we can say they're being trafficked, because trafficking is simply moving them. So we're just saying sort of moving goods, or like you being in a bus or a driver saying you're moving. So they're being trafficked. They have their own desire, which is to relocate, to migrate irregularly. And then there's somebody who says, I can help you provide the service. I can move you from Nigeria to where you're going to. So they are being trafficked. The other element of it is which is a slightly different part, is where you're saying, people smugglers. You have those, they're very fine lines between human trafficking, people smuggling, but then the people, at the end of the day, the bulk of the people that the traffickers have are migrants. So they're moving them, and then no matter where, so whichever way it is, the name, that's why under the international community, you're having the whole angle of global migration and the global migration compact. So whichever way you look at it, that whole movement is trafficking.
It's trafficking.
That's it.
Indeed. Mr. Atakolo, let me come to you. And we're still staying with people who wants to travel voluntarily out of the country, whether legally or illegally. And let's focus on the legal part of it now, from what Ibironke just said. So these people just don't disappear out of Nigeria. We have land borders through which most times these people pass through. What is the role of NAPTIP in checking people smuggling or human traffickers from taking people out of the country illegally, thereby putting lives at risk?
You see, let's start it from the basic.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with migration.
Right.
Migration has been on since the world began. But it becomes a problem when it is irregular. It becomes a problem when you have to go with not enough information at your disposal. Most people who are trafficked, they don't have all the information they need for that journey. To that extent, that is why human trafficking is a crime fueled by a very heavy dose of deceit.
Right.
They don't know all they need to know before they are going. The person that comes to stand at their front that I can help you does not, all the person is looking through them is the dollars and the euros. He doesn't have all the information. If he has, it's the information about how to exploit them. People are exploited. People are trafficked across the borders for many reasons, to make money, for sports, to play ball, and they collect the money. There are several reasons why people are trafficked. And the major issue there is deception. They don't have all the answers. If you want to go abroad and you have knowledge of where you are going, you have all your papers, you have your visa. In that case, if you get to that country and you have issues, you can even approach the law enforcement.
Which is what baffles me. So in the video that went viral, the lady who was in Lebanon and the government have stepped in, even the Mr. Bike Dabiri has stepped in, NAPTIP has stepped in. The biggest question I had watching that video of the lady crying for help right there in Lebanon was there are police stations in these countries, but they don't go forward. They don't go there to ask for help. Is there a reason for this?
Hello, look, these victims, from when they are going, they like to collude with the enemy. They hide things, they collude with the trafficker, they collude with the agent, because they believe that when they get there, things will be better. So they are not likely to allow you to see what is happening. Those who intercept, they see you as their enemy. They don't know that you are coming to help them.
Wow.
They believe everything is set for them to go to the next level and you are coming to spoil shoes for them. We intercept most of the time. We intercept them most of the time. It is only when they get there and things are not the way they told them. That's when they start crying to us. Right. Let me give you an example. You are going, we are not criminalizing them. Our act does not allow us to even criminalize or blame the victim.
Right.
But let us talk to ourselves. You left Nigeria, you want to go to Lebanon and teach English language. We are not criminalizing her, but nobody has actually asked her what are her competences. What are your certifications?
Why are you able to teach English in a foreign country? Do you have the qualification? What
NAPTIP does most of the time, even today, my people are going at, is to sensitize people. First of all, you let the buyer beware first. It's not just that somebody is coming to traffic you. You are trafficked most of the time because you have a desire to go, and they know you want to go, and they now exploit you.
You're desperate.
Look, there's a lot you can do. This federal government now, there are so many interventions for young men, for young women, but they don't have the patience to work it out. And when they go, they enter trouble. And even at the point of going, if you intercept them, they tell you all manner of lies. That this is what they are going to do. It is only when they get there. I want Nigerians to know this morning, and I'm sure my DG, the Director General NAPTIP, she says it wherever she goes. There is no place on the surface of the earth where you go and pick dollars or euros from the ground.
True.
Nigeria is even supposed to be a better destination instead of all these places they are going to. How is somebody going to a place where they are always having wars and bombs that are exploding all over the place? Don't have enough information.
Before we head out for a break, I think we should hear a bit from the people who listen.
Yes,
so
please.
far, this is not the first time we're having this conversation. Like we mentioned, we've talked about it numerous times, but it appears that
it's not going anywhere.
It's not going away. Why? No, my question is, why do you guys keep getting trafficked?
Well, maybe, yeah, we'll hear from people, right?
Right.
We also need to tell them what are the lies that they usually tell them.
And why do you keep believing those lies?
Why do you keep believing those lies?
You see, that's the truth, like you rightly said.
Under the control. Most of them are under the control of the trafficker. Those are some of the control mechanisms. Like you said, somebody going with people and say, all of them are my children. But it is not difficult for the discerning eye to see it. A woman, maybe a woman, or maybe a man, you have 4 or 5 children going with you, and you want to talk to them, they say, no, talk to me, I'm their parent, I'm the mother. How come some of these children are old enough to speak? Even from the age of 7, 8, 9.
So let them talk for themselves. But let's get in some calls.
On their behalf.
The phone lines are buzzing already. Let's squeeze in a number of calls before we head out for our first break. If you want to join us now, here are the numbers.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
All right, Nigeria Info, we are listening.
Absolutely. Let's get to hear who this person is. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Wemimo. You are welcome back.
Thank you.
I think the only way to curb this thing is not just for NAPTIP alone. Let the orientation agency step up their game. I think I remember in the 80s and early 90s, We used to have.
Hello? Hello?
I think we lost that call.
Oh, we lost that call.
Well, I think it's a good place to head up for a break. When we come back, we'll read most of your comments. We'll see them on Facebook where we're streaming live right now. And we're talking human trafficking. A video went round. A woman, yes, young woman crying for help,
Right.
stuck in Lebanon. And with the numbers we've given you, over 4,000 people trafficked in Lebanon. I'm wondering what the attraction is to those places, to Lebanon.
Are you actually asking?
No, scrap that question. Let's head out for a break now. We're back in a moment. We have our guest here with us from NAPTIP. We have the zonal commander right here with us in the studio. And we also have a guest here from the Migrant Project. I checked out their website and they are doing fabulous. We're giving information if you need to travel. We have with us here Anita Bironke, who's a media liaison officer, and also Mr. Daniel Atakolo right with us on the phone. We're back in a moment.
All right. Do join us again. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
And I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
Your number one talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
The conversation is up right here in the studio. I mean, it's a very hot topic, and we're just asking the questions, why does this continue? And hey, we had quite a conversation during the break. Welcome back as a Morning Crossfire. Today we're talking human trafficking, and we have Mr. Daniel Otokolo, who's a Lagos commander, national agency.
The zonal commander.
Zonal commander, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and also Anita Bironke, the media liaison officer of the Migrant Project Nigeria. And I am Wemimo Adewuni.
And I am Sheriff Quadry. Mr. Daniel, let's begin this conversation with you once more. And we would like to, I think that we should tell people what are the lies that traffickers usually, because I'm saying it's lies because it's lies. You said before the break that it's deceit. They just tell people what they want people to believe. What are those things that people should watch out for? The indicators that show that you are about to be trafficked.
Thank you very much. Let us start from what pushes people before we look at the indicators.
Yes.
Right.
Now, anything that can make or get a group of people to leave their area of comfort, their zone of comfort, in a hurry to another place where they are not comfortable. Those particular set of human beings, they are already available to the trafficker. So you are looking at what are the push factors. At times we talk of unemployment, we talk of underemployment, we talk of poverty, we talk of ignorance, we talk of peer pressure. Somebody mentioned peer pressure there. Mm-hmm. Again, we have to look at what role does all this insurgency, terrorism, what role does it play? In that, people look at a whole plethora of reasons why people are easily trafficked. When people stay together as a family and all of a sudden people start running, they are shooting them, they are running, people are killed, they can't even come back to their ancestral land to bury them again. Then they go and stay in a particular location. After some time, these people, you see, fatigue comes in. They cannot go back home. Their normal life has been interrupted. Then somebody comes in the garb of an angel. Says, what are you doing here? Something ab initio has propelled and predisposed this person to accept whatever rubbish and lies they are going to tell him or her. And at that level, reason is off. But most of the lies they tell people is that I will help you to get scholarship. You see, the human trafficker may not be too terribly so educated, but they are very good at profiling.
Right.
They look at you, they know what you need.
Right.
A young lady is left, she has finished secondary school, she's moving around, she's keeping up with all the trends in fashion, and they say she's a beautiful girl. And all of a sudden somebody comes to her and says, babe, you are a very fine girl, what are you doing around here? I could help you. And the girl is always on Instagram, she's always on Facebook, she sees people, she sees the glamour of beauty, of models.
Right.
And so they have already profiled her and they are using modeling. And with this modeling, she's available to be trafficked. Another person may be very good at football. Like I tell you, people go to beach soccer, they see them tapping football and say, this boy is a talent. And they get to him and say, I could make you play in Greece.
Wow.
And then the guy is available. Again, we are talking about, somebody mentioned organ harvesting. Very important too, which is what is trending. Look, any young man, any young lady who could run on the football pitch or on this beach for 90 minutes, they slide in, he gets up, he's running. That guy has got good body. He has got good body because he has good internal organs. But somebody somewhere in the Middle East is very sick. And this person is not going to wait for the traditional way of organ donation.
Right.
We all grew up to see organ donors as somebody say, well, if I die, I donate my eyes for research. If I die, I donate my liver. If I die, I donate my kidney. But let me tell you, the world has gone to the level now that the person who is saying if he dies, he'll donate liver and kidney is equally treating himself when he's sick. Meaning that that prospect of using his kidney, we have to wait for a long time. This man who is sick, on the other hand, has a lot of money and is not going to wait. So how is he going to get this organ? They come to third world countries. They come to places and they don't know how to use. They are very good at talent spotting. And then they not get someone. So the life is nothing more than there's a better life. I took somebody last year and the person has his Jeep now. I took somebody last year. The person is building a house in a particular location. Who doesn't want to build a house?
Right.
But now again, we tell people to beware.
I mean, the picture you've painted, my hand just dropped, I tell you.
That's the reality.
When you do that thorough profiling,
That's it, yes.
I mean, it's bound to work.
It's bound to work because the person already is in a state of acceptance. You know, I just want something better. I want to leave this country. You know that I want to leave, no matter what. I mean, I've been on enough radio and TV shows, and people call in and they tell you that even if you know that this person is going to take you through Libya, he's going to smuggle you, traffic you, they say, I will go. Will you send your daughter? I said that my daughter, as long as she will get there and send money back home.
Whoa.
So it's absolutely spot on. This is really, it's not about lies. It's about what you want to hear. And
Right.
somebody is telling you what you want to hear.
The Migrant Project does fabulous work. Tell us about it, because some people, these lies, you try to demystify them.
Yes.
Tell us about that, please.
Well, basically, what the Migrant Project does is to go into the communities and sensitize people about the risk and realities of trying to migrate irregularly, which is primarily going through Libya and the Mediterranean to get to any of the European countries. Or as we're finding out from research on the field, going through any other route at all, through the, going through, trying to get to, once you're trying to move from here. And one of the things illegally and irregularly, now with the, by 2019, the word illegal migration has really been taken off the table and replaced with irregular migration, because illegal connotes some kind of crime and victimizing the victim, so to speak. You know how political.
Oh, there we go. Okay, irregular
Yes.
migration.
Yes,
Okay.
there we go. And of course, in this case, illegal migration talks about when you're actually using forged papers and documents. So it kind of targets some other angle where it's all semantics, but pretty much. So when we are going to the communities, we tell them, and then we also let people know that the legal migration opportunities and options. So look out, like we say, find out from NAPTIP, find out from other agencies and CSOs that are doing things in this area. Know that these are the signs. Do not fall victim to lies that cannot be verified. So you're being told they're going to go and be a model, or you're going to go to school or a scholarship. The person talking to you, can you verify anything about the details? And now, like, even what he hasn't said is that they're so good now. Some people have enough. They're being bankrolled. You can get absolute good websites. You can go online and you
For
find
5,000 naira, yeah.
Yes, you'll get there. When you go and do your research, you'll find them online. But
So you're there. It's pretty hard. It will be very hard at that point
It's hard.
to say that this is illegal.
that's it.
And the website looks
The
good.
website looks good. But then what? So the next question then becomes, if you're being offered something that sounds too good to be true, an opportunity to become a teacher, for instance, let's use that, to teach English, and you know that you cannot teach English. You're not being told to do any qualifying exams.
No test,
nothing. So look at the standard migration opportunities that exist. For Canada, think about how much work you need to put into it, for instance, IELTS and the works.
Right.
And then somebody just says, you don't even have the money, I'll pay for you. So
And then you pay me back.
You pay me back. Those things are red flags. So we'll kind of tell you, look out for the regular red flags. Like basically things that has already been said. And then again, another thing we also do with people is we try to also let them know about empowerment opportunities that exist within Nigeria. So we're looking at initiatives that are being done across board. So not just from the government, but anything at all that we see. So major issues are poverty, jobs, I can't. So we look at, so are there opportunities? We throw them out there. We put them in different places. We even have our works and information done in Pidgin and Yoruba as well on the website. So your language is no longer a barrier. And I would tell people as well that you're going to a country where you can't speak the English. You can't speak the language.
Right.
You can't speak Italian, you can't
Right.
speak German, you can't speak Spanish. How then do you expect that when you get there,
You
you're going to
survive?
survive?
How?
And the trafficker or the person talking to you hasn't told you there's any language plan. So just tell you that in this case, try to use a little bit of your common sense.
Right.
Apply your own native intelligence and look at it, bring it down and say, it's bad in Nigeria, but really, is it really a true opportunity that's going on there? That's pretty much what.
Let's look at some more stats. 12.3 million. Excuse me.
Mr. Takolo wanted to say
yeah.
something. Mr. Takolo, go on, please.
I want to say something that when in doubt, approach NAPTIP.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Let me let you know. See, in about a week, 2 weeks to a month from now, NAPTIP has been working on a particular MOU on labor issues to aid these countries like United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, in destinations in the Middle East, all over, where Nigerians are prone to run to for employment. We're trying to regularize this. We're trying to say, look, let us even be sure that there are agencies like that there that are recruiting people.
Right.
let us be sure that what are their best practices in that country. You don't just take a human being to a country, forcefully take away his or her travel
Passport,
document
yeah.
and exploit the person. Now, they are not able to approach the law enforcement agencies there because they are irregular people. They are not able to seek help, people like Omolara, because they are under the control of the end user. By the time they are dead legally, by the time Nigeria is aware that they are going abroad, by the time the country they are coming to is aware they are coming, then there will be areas for redress. There will be, like we call standard operating procedure for this thing to be done. So we are now about doing it through the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, MLA, and all that things is being done so that Nigerians can now go and work. If we're exporting labor, we're exporting them to the right destination, and they have access, payment to be made into their own account. NAPTIP is doing a whole lot, and Nigerians should just know it. Very soon, our DG will come on air and let Nigerians know when it is done. Absolutely. Apart from that, when I say speak to NAPTIP, just a little bit before the end of last year, the federal government gave us authority. They gave us power to regulate the activities of some of these bodies. You are going on tour, you are a tour operator, you are a school trying to take people for excursion. We are going to look at what you are doing.
Right. Fantastic.
We regulate you, and if we have a reason to suspect that human trafficking is likely to take place, we disallow that journey. We have the power to approve the journey, we have the power to stop the journey, and we are allowed again to charge some stipends to just for administrative costs running. So Nigerians will soon come to know that NAPTIP, with the help of the support of the federal government, is trying to help Nigerians to get Nigerians off the trafficking radar.
Do we have NAPTIP offices in every state in Nigeria?
You don't have NAPTIP offices in every state, but we have zonal command. Like I introduced myself as a zonal commander, Lagos Command. Lagos Command is in charge of Ogun, Oyo, and Lagos states.
Right.
We have the Oshogbo Command. We have the Benin Benin Zonal Office Command. You have Uyo Command. You have Kano Zonal Command. You have Sokoto Zonal Command. You have Makurdi Zonal Command. And these states actually cover several states that are within that area. We have our areas of responsibility under the zonal command.
Right, right.
Are there phone numbers? Because I'm wondering how easy this would be for people to reach out. You've said when in doubt, reach out to NAPTIP. How easily? What is the easiest way to reach out to NAPTIP?
The easiest way to reach out to NAPTIP is to know the hotline. Our hotlines are there. If you are talking on Lagos Zonal Command, it's 070 8060 1801.
That's too fast. No. We want them to get a pen and paper and write it. I'm also putting it down now. Let's take the number again, please.
Lagos Zonal Command hotline 070.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
8060.
Okay.
1801.
1801.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And on email, which is one of the very valuable platforms, is InfoLagos.
Okay.
At naptip.gov.ng. InfoLagos at naptip.gov.ng.
Right.
We also work with other law enforcement agencies. We have excellent relationship. We are working with the Nigerian Immigration Service. We are working with the DSS. We are working even with the military.
Right.
We are working with the Civil Defense Corps. We are working with all the relevant law enforcement. Like my DG will keep on saying to Nigerians, this job of human trafficking is whole of government and whole of society. All layers of government are supposed to do, if they do what they are supposed to do. And if all the members of society, the opinion leaders, the stakeholders, if we do all what we are supposed to do, chances are that most people will not be trafficked.
Well, Mr. Adokolo, we need to go back to the phone lines, but I need to ask you this question, very important. Those that have been trafficked, especially from the data we have got here, about 1,000 of them have been rescued so far. And out of about 4,000 that have been trafficked, especially last year, 2019, what are we doing to rescue the rest? Or are we just going to leave them?
Not at all. As we talk, plans are there. The government will work profile. And when it comes to a particular level, people get to know. We are working. See, in the past, people get abroad and they think they are out of reach. They are never out of reach. With the MLA, with the memorandum of understanding within Nigeria and other countries, we are going after them. Is it Mali? Is it Libya? Is wherever we are going after.
Oh my goodness!
And when you go there, when we get them, then we bring them back home. They'll face justice.
How much is this costing the government? Because I'm just imagining. I mean, people want to live at all costs. The government then spends a lot of money getting them back. How much does this cost us as a nation?
Well, it will be very, very expensive. But again, government is out to safeguard the lives of properties of Nigerians. So the government is doing their best. But Nigerians also will have a role to play. How come parents now see children they just gave birth to 20 years ago, 18 years ago, at ATMs? How come that a father and mother will conveniently, with all good conscience, send a child that is just 18, 20 to go abroad and bring money for him to drive a jeep or to build a house? This man probably is 40-something, already 60. Why? How come he's waiting on the daughter to go and bring that money for her?
Let me throw this question to the people. You've asked a very good question. I hope you can answer that question when you call in. You can also leave us your thoughts on Facebook, Nigeria Info FM. You can search for us. Also, WhatsApp number is 08095975805. Big question. How come parents depend on their wards to then take care of the families, which seem to be the biggest burden, and why these young people want to leave at all costs? Here are the numbers to join us now.
Call us on 0127709993, 0127719993, 0127729993, and 0127739993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Obayemi.
Right.
I'm calling you from Badagry area of Lagos.
Good to have you.
So, yes, I run an NGO that talks on migration. And, of course, I work in the border community.
Okay.
Now, thanks to your guests, they are doing amazingly well.
Thank you.
Now, but as a country, December last year, the Global Compact for Migration was signed, bringing several countries together as to how migration is going to run. Now, at the local level, that's in Nigeria, there has not been anything done on its implementation. And thanks to your guests in the house, Migrant Project, what they're doing. Now, the truth of the matter is that the push factor is so much, and the pull factor is a lot more, because everybody wants to go abroad to look for greener pasture.
True.
Now, but the thing is, can we begin to sensitize the people? Like I said, I work hands-on every day on migration issue here. It will amaze you to know that a lot of people don't even know the repercussion of irregular migration, including government officials.
Wow.
So you see, including government officials. Last year, I held a training for local government officials around here on how they can collaborate with Nigerian Immigration Service, NAPTIP, and several other, stakeholders working on migration issue across the border communities and traditional rulers. And it's amazing that they don't even know. So we need to do a lot more as sensitizing the people. A lot of parents don't even know the repercussion. They don't know what it means.
Yes. Because of time, we'll have to let you go. But I need you to do something. Please send your contact to our WhatsApp line. We would like to have some chat with you much later on. The WhatsApp line, do you have it?
I don't have it.
Okay.
Why don't you have it, by the way?
Let me just call it out.
It's my first time of calling in.
Oh, wow. All right, drop the line and we'll give you the number.
We'll give you the number, right?
Okay.
Thank you, Okwemi, for calling.
Thank you. While we wait, we'll give you 5 seconds to get it together. On Twitter, Mutaza Miki Yusuf says the human trafficking illicit trade is worth over $200 million. It is such a big racketeering that even the police and other law enforcement agencies are bewildered to deal with it. Kids between 5 and 10 are also targeted by these traffickers. All right, if you're ready for the number now, the WhatsApp number is 08095975805, 08095975805. Hope you got it. If you missed it, you can reach us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. Delani Roberts on Twitter says human trafficking in Nigeria is a menace that the government has been trying to curb. Unfortunately, traffickers seem to be better in their tactics, and you might just agree with that. WhatsApp, good morning, Wemimo says, gosh, this message is so long. Let me see if I can summarize. It's from Olojede Cruz from VI. It says, it says this. Okay, I'm trying to summarize. Okay, it says it's talking about options of partnering with Nollywood to make movies that address the issues. Also, it says it can He said he can even help NAPTIP to script. Wow, amazing. So are you open to that, Mr. Daniel?
We even have a movie
Why
already on
not?
it.
We want the entire country to come and put hands together and join NAPTIP to fight human trafficking.
So please send a mail to that email address and reach out to NAPTIP. He also says, how about partnering with DSTV on media publicity? How about partnering with religious leaders to capture parents on special forums?
Valuable. All platforms are acceptable provided they are good platforms that can educate and inform Nigeria.
Right, thank you. Casimir, a colleague on WhatsApp says, Wemimo, thank God for the lady in the studio. He says education is the way and sensitive information for the family so they can educate the children and protect them. Why are you asking me about Forex? For Shabusi, he says government has failed in its responsibility and that's why things are the way they are.
Right, indeed. Let's get back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sherry.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wemimo.
Good morning.
This is Pastor Ladipo calling from Sarizome.
Welcome.
Now, my take is this. I want the orientation agency to do more. Because I remember in the early 80s, I remember a jingle, Andrew, sometimes. It's a very...
Oh, unfortunately, your line is so bad.
Pastor Ladipo, do try and call us back. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, please. I want to report a case of, you are talking about trafficking.
Yes, we are.
Yes, today, yesterday night, rather, about 10 o'clock, like that I was coming back from work, I saw a trailer load of kids. How I knew that
Kids?
they were children, kids.
Oh, wow.
They were children when they were about entering or passing through Maryland by the tunnel of that Maryland.
Yeah.
That was when I knew that people were there because they actually bent down for them to pass through that area. They load children, but I passed through them. I drove past them to see if I could see any policeman to report to. But
Did you get the number plate? Did you take a picture of the number plate of that vehicle?
No. I could not
my.
because I was actually looking for a policeman to report to or any law enforcement agent.
Oh,
this is what is going on in the country. So I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Thank you for the information.
I wish there was something we could do.
This is quite disturbing.
It is. Gosh. This is pretty disturbing. Okay, let's head back to WhatsApp quickly. Oh gosh, I mean, I feel traumatized just thinking about it.
Really, because children and women are the most vulnerable. And like really, I'm not surprised that he's saying that. This is January. This is the beginning of the year. So there's a lot. There's a demand for a lot of things going on, and things are really already bad. So it's disheartening. But it would have been ideal if he had taken the picture of the number plate or something.
To help us, trace it. Without that, there's almost nothing that we can do.
Well, there are few agencies that talk about the fact that if you see children who you suspect have been trafficked or are not out of school, there are things people are putting out. The sensitization goes on about these things.
Guys, we need to wrap up now, unfortunately. I wish you could take some more time. And messages are pouring in all over social media. Let me see if I can squeeze one in from Facebook on our way. Facebook will permit. Remember also that there's a protest happening.
So wait,
starting
about that.
now?
Our reporter just sent in some
That's
updates.
Tunde Pratt.
Yeah, Tunde Pratt. That nothing is happening yet. He's at Ojota, the venue of the Amotekun protest in Lagos. He said he counted like 20 vehicles of Lagos police and task force there stationed around the park. No sign of any protests yet. Usual business around Ganifoyemi Park in Ojota. Nothing is happening yet. But
African time,
police
maybe.
is there.
Nico, you can trust. They'll be earlier on. Raphael Adegoke on Facebook says the federal government should also create enough jobs and alleviate the numerous sufferings of Nigerians. Summarily, and he also says the Ministry of Information is dormant and inactive in sensitizing people on how to identify human traffickers and so much more.
Yeah, I would like to say that
Yes.
a lot of work lies with the parents, really and truly, because the issue of we are finding that a lot of children and people that are being trafficked or moved or migrating regularly come from pressure from the parents, and that's because we believe culturally in Nigeria and Africa that you will eat the fruit of your children's labor. And so those cultural notions have gone out of hand.
Eat the fruit of your children's labor legally, please. And, and let them eat some before you have your share. Please. But we must go now. We thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been amazing having you here, both of you. We hope to have this conversation again. We surely will. Anita Bironka is the media liaison officer of the Migrant Project Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Daniel Atokolo, nice to have you all the time. Mr. Zonal Commander NAPTIP, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you so much.
Nigerians, we're back tomorrow morning with more. After the news, there's so much more coming in. We'll be giving you updates about the protest, planned protest.
Absolutely.
So stick with us on social media. See you tomorrow morning.
We're back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Wemimo Adewuni. Thank you for welcoming back. See you.